What's up, everybody? Tommy and Nate here with Bare Knuckle Recovery. So we know it's been a while since we've made a video like this, so we just wanted to hop on here for a few minutes today to talk about one specific thing. So September, as a lot of you guys know, is Recovery Month.
Yep.
During Recovery Month, it presents a really awesome opportunity to get out in the community, meet with a lot of the organizations in your community, build a lot of new relationships in your community. And so that's something that we've spent a lot of time doing this month and every Recovery Month, and not just Recovery Month. Honestly, there's events and things like this all through the spring, summer, and fall.
Right.
But we wanted to focus on Recovery Month specifically.
Yeah.
So,
well, Recovery Month is such an exciting time. You know, there's so many different things going on, and that's just a great way for people to get plugged in. You know, because we hear so many people, especially on our Bare Knuckle page, that reach out to us, or just people we meet every day that we see in the street, and they say, how can I get involved?
which is awesome, by the way. We love that question. We love that people want to get involved.
Right, because communities are made up of people, right? And people are the ones who set the culture within the community. So it's awesome that we have so many people in Northeast Indiana, and really around the state in general, who are very excited about trying to change things and not accepting things as the way they are. Because a lot of us know it's been a very tough year. Well, it's been a tough couple of years, especially for people in the recovery community, people in the substance use field. It's been really hard. So a lot of people would say, well, you know, how can I get involved and make a difference? Well, Recovery Month, we met so many awesome people. There's so many events, but what we found was there's a lot of great organizations, but there's also a lot of organizations that people have in their heads that they're thinking about. There's a lot of action people want to take, but they haven't done it yet. So we're here to encourage you guys to go ahead and take that action. If you have a plan that you think you can roll out that's going to help your community, just do it. You know, we talk to people all the time, and they always want to do something, but it's never the right time. They never feel ready. A long time ago, half a decade ago, just about now for me, I'm getting old, as you can tell from my hair loss. Tommy, who's still a young whippersnapper here, he started his journey about 4 years ago.
Even though Nate looks like he's like 15 years older than me, he's less than 1 year older than me. So.
I am often told that I am an old soul. Unfortunately, I'm an old soul trapped in a young body that also looks old. So I kind of got a bad deal. I did have a lot of hair, but it all fell out when I got sober. It was kind of a raw deal. Then it all just retreated to my back. You know, now I just look like a freaking Wookiee without hair on the top of my head. But I digress. So
just like your hair did.
Yeah, my hair regressed. I'm almost going backward in time. I look like just a giant baby now, and with a beard.
We got way off topic here.
We did, but that's part of the fun, right? So this all just goes to show that if you have an idea, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to do something.
You know, like Nate said, a lot of people have these awesome ideas that can impact their community in a positive way, and you don't really know where to start. So again, that goes back to these events. Show up at these events and talk to the other people there that are actually doing these things, and share your ideas with them. Don't be worried about somebody trying to steal your idea. What you're gonna hear is a lot of people that want to help you accomplish whatever that goal may be.
Right.
So these, again, you know, all these events are great opportunities to meet people, build new relationships,
100%.
and try to create whatever ideas you have. And, you know, it's going to be slowing down quite a bit here since it's already getting freezing cold outside at night. But they're going to start back up next spring as soon as, next April is when all the events really start to get going again.
And there's plenty of work to be done between now and next year's Recovery Month. You might say, oh, shoot, I missed the Recovery Month this year. Well, it's okay. There's organizations that we're happy to plug you into. Because a lot of people say, well, I want to do something. I want to volunteer my time. There's so many organizations out there that need volunteers desperately. But if you don't find an organization that fits what you want to do, go start an organization. And that's what we're saying. I mean, a great example is the Bare Knuckle page. We started this in 2020, really got going in 2021 when we officially rolled it out, but we began to really think about this and brainstorm and start to have these ideas and really start to kind of put pen to paper and begin to plan for Bare Knuckle. And the reason we did that was because there were so many overdose deaths, and fentanyl was becoming such an issue that nobody was really talking about it, right? There were people talking, but not enough. So we decided we wanted to create a platform where we could resource map for people, where we could encourage people, where we could share the latest information about what's going on in our own community. And it's just been crazy to see how it's grown. I mean, you know, Tommy was just at an event, and I'll let him talk about that, where people just kept coming up to you, right?
Yeah, so we were down in Indy for a symposium earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday.
In Arms.
In Arms Symposium down in Indy. And Alicia and Nathan and myself were down there. And I think I lost track of how many people walked up to me. There was some people when I was, in the gym in the morning that walked up to me and literally were like, "Hey, bare knuckle recovery." And a lot of people introduced me to other people as one of the guys from bare knuckle recovery.
Yep.
So it was really encouraging to see that, people enjoy our content, which we absolutely appreciate. We wouldn't still be doing this if it weren't for you guys liking and sharing all of our stuff. But I mean, I was very surprised at how many people from another part of the state who I did not know, but they knew who we were.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. It's not really what we expected to happen when we
No.
started this at all. But it's been really cool to see how it's grown.
Yeah, and people will stop us on the street, like, "Oh, you guys are bare knuckle," and we say, "Well, how did you know?" They say, "Well, you guys are hard to miss. You got Cro-Magnon Man Nate and Amber Crombie Model Tommy, so kind of like a mismatched pair. You got this giant knuckle dragger Nate walking around. I'm hard to miss." So it's one of those things where you look at it and you think, well, how could I ever do that? Just remember that Tommy and I are two former homeless heroin
I was gonna
addicts.
say, it wasn't too long ago that we were sleeping under bridges.
Yeah.
And
I overdosed twice in 24 hours, living in my car at McDonald's. Tommy was robbing drug dealers, got shot in the head, and if you guys think he's smart now, you guys should have met him before he got shot. He's a little slower. It's a joke. You can laugh. We like to have fun here. But it just goes to show you that you can do these things. I mean, a lot of people think, well, I have to have degrees, I have to go to school. You just have to care about people in your community and be willing to be a doer. Yes, doer. That I got that from. If you look it up at the English dictionary, I don't think it's there, but it is from the movie Pain and Gain, which is a great movie. Some people say I look like The Rock. I don't know. I think he looks like me.
you look like a rock.
Yeah. I have a rock for a
not the
brain.
Rock.
I might have a rock for a brain. But again, that's a story for another day. So what we're trying to say is get involved, start that nonprofit, start that Facebook page, start that street outreach. Our friend Ashley Diss with Project Me, she just had an idea about putting together safe use kits and harm reduction kits and handing out Narcan, which is a drug that reverses an opioid overdose, to people on the street, doing street outreach, right?
Yep.
And accepting people, meeting them where they're at, right? If there's somebody who's homeless under a bridge shooting fentanyl, we're not going to judge that person and put them down. She goes out and she meets them where they're at and says, you have value, and here's something that can help you save your life potentially and keep you from contracting some kind of preventable disease.
And Jen Hope with the Mom of an Addict is another awesome example of a grassroots organization. Jen had an idea. She spoke to my mom and a few other moms who had gone through similar situations, and they just started this event or this organization basically from nothing.
Absolutely.
And it's grown, tenfold now. They've got meetings all over Fort Wayne. They're in Warsaw, Elkhart, Wabash. They do the Zoom meeting that my mom does all the way from South Carolina. So now a lot of people down in that area are getting involved with it.
Yeah.
So you never know how something's going to grow. There's, definitely people out there that are going to benefit from any idea like this that you have. So,
You never know the ripples you're going to have.
Yep.
And you never know when your ripples are going to turn to a freaking tidal wave. And you're going to impact a lot of people in a positive way, right? So that's what's happened with a lot of people who simply just had an idea. And sometimes people will laugh at you or say, well, that's never going to work. Screw those people. You're the person who's taking the risk. They talk a lot about being in the arena, right? Be the man in the arena. It's easy to sit in the cheap seats and hurl insults and laugh at people and make fun of them. But if you're out there and you have a heart for people and you're making an impact, you are doing your part in this epidemic. You are the reason that people are surviving, that people are recovering, and that's really what matters. We started just making simple videos and going and meeting with people, and now Tommy and I speak all over the state, all over the country. I was able to go to Washington the other day with Congressman Jim Banks and speak to some members of Congress I got on Fox News. That's not to say, look at me. It's just to say, you never know where it's going to lead you. 5 years ago, living in my car, I guess a little more than 5 years ago now, living in my car, using IV fentanyl and overdosing and not having pot to piss in. Now here we are, and we have the opportunity to help other people, So if you're grateful for your recovery, or, you're grateful for something that somebody did for you or your family member, they always say that gratitude is action. So don't be afraid to go out and take action. Take that leap, take that step. Everybody starts somewhere not really knowing much or not really knowing how they're going to live out their purpose. The only way to do it is just to start doing it, right? The same thing we talk about recovery. Not people who want it, need it, it's people that do it. Same thing when it comes to changing the world. And you don't have to change the entire world. Just start with the people in your little circle, man. The people on your block, the people that you run into every day. Could be a kind word. But maybe that kind word, you have an idea to turn that into a motivational Facebook page or a TikTok account, whatever it may be. We're here to tell you, go ahead and do it. We think that we need you. Well, we know we need you. We need everybody watching this to do something positive and to help turn the tide of this epidemic.
Well, and like Nate said, definitely don't let other people who think your idea isn't a good one or want to laugh at you or whatever. I mean, we definitely had people that were laughing at us when we first started making videos.
People still laugh at me.
Well, yes, that's true. But specifically for making these videos that we started, a year and a half ago or whatever it was, we definitely had people that were laughing at us, but we thought it was important and we were committed to it, so we continued doing it. And I mean, you've seen how it's grown.
Yeah, I mean, we get nasty Facebook messages all the time.
Oh, we get a lot of
and
those.
That's okay. We just keep going. We know we're confident in what we're doing, and we know our purpose, and we're going to keep charging ahead. And we would love to have you standing beside us, step by step together, fighting this thing. And you have value, you have worth, you have talents and abilities. Don't be afraid to use them. We need your help. I mean, there's people out there that need to hear what you have to say.
Yep. And so if anyone is still watching, just to add, like I said, we're going to be recording our next podcast next week, episode number 3. I've gone through a lot of our old messages that we get in our inbox with questions that we're going to be answering on our podcast. So if anybody has suggestions, questions, topics, we will be looking for guests to come on our podcast as well.
Yep.
So yeah, if you guys have anything, feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to address it in our podcast.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to have a lot of people on the podcast who are people doing things in the community. So maybe you want to help, but you don't know how. Hopefully by watching the podcast and listening to some of the people and what they're doing, you may get an idea of what you want to do, where you want to plug in. So we look forward to you guys watching our stuff and like and share all our stuff. And if you have something going on, we'll do the same. So we're all here to support each other. It's a we problem. It's going to be a we solution. So
absolutely. All right. Thank you guys.